Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake. Myself, King Beebs, and Jolly are here, tearing it up, doing the shortstops. That's the spot, man. Like a shortstop. You've heard Nelly. We are going to rank out probably the most important position on a baseball field. Still doesn't really make sense, but it does. If you've ever played ball, you know the magnitude of that position on the field. We have not super pregame this one, so you're going to get some stuff on the fly, even the naming of the tiers. Just got a text from my mom that she's at Bradley Airport. That's Connecticut's airport. She's always had a dream of us making a John Boy Media airport lounge. Don't know what it would be.
Oh. Don't even know like what the concept is.
But she said there's still room for the John Boy Media lounge.
I do like that as a mom's like idea for the company. There'd be a blitzball set up.
So get ready for that. For now, speaking of subscribe to Warehouse Games, let's get into the shortstops. We currently have 6 tiers. S tier at the top. You know that won't stay. At the bottom, Jolly had a creative idea. What's that called, Jolly?
Thanks for having me on the show again, Jake. Yeah. I had he was in the news this weekend. Our bottom tier is Kenny Pickett, as in Can He Pickett?
Kenny Pickett.
But also like Kenny Pickett, like the football player, you know?
Kenny.
So that's the bottom, kind of defensive first. You know, we don't really know the other side of their game yet. Or we do, and it's kind of faded away. Jake, we've been starting at the top a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we have to again, though. I don't know.
This is really tricky because one of the best right fielders ever is playing shortstop. So it's really tough.
He also was a highly tiered second baseman for us when that list happened.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Forgot.
Mookie's going to be our S tier second baseman.
I think Gunnar was a third baseman when we did that.
And shortstop. So, yeah, I guess Mookie has to start at the top.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, he's an inner circle Hall of Famer. So, I don't know. I just had a clip go out that sometimes when our social team will post something, I'm like, oh, God. I'm gonna be making that my new catchphrase I decided the other night. Oh, God.
Okay.
So get ready for that.
I like it better than mid,
2024.
I think.
Oh
Mid
my God,
was
that was tough. Some
crazy.
of the
Went
old
on a
gaming
long
streams.
time.
just
Holy
infested.
Toledo. I am gonna put one person with Mookie for now. It's not the person you want yet, because I think there's some things to discuss.
You're crazy.
But I think non-negotiable at this moment, 2-time World Series MVP, second in MVP last year, playing 119 games. Corey Seager, who maybe he deserves to be alone on S tier, if I'm being honest, because I don't know if Mookie's going to pick it.
Well,
I've kind of been tough on Seager's defense through the years, and he's fine. He's fine.
Mookie is the only
Makes the
person
routine.
that we've ranked that is better than us at baseball and also better than us at making baseball content. So he has that edge for me. Come on.
I don't know if he's better at me than either, but go on.
Seager definitely deserves to be up there. I mean, you can kind of use injuries against him a little bit. He only played 119 games last year, but that's enough of a sample for me to say 33 homers, still led the league in doubles after missing 42 games, and had an OPS over 1,000, a runner-up in MVP voting. He probably would have won it if not for some other guy named Shohei. So, yeah, I think he definitely deserves to be up there. I think there is an argument to be made for him to be on an island by himself, but as for these two and a third guy who, you know, throw the bias card at me if you want, I think all three of these guys have kind of a hitch that makes them equal, if that makes sense. Not all of them have a thing that makes them the perfect candidate to be number one or whatever.
You said bias. Who are you talking about, and what's their hitch? I guess that's what I'm interested in.
I'm talking about Francisco Lindor. I watch him a lot. He plays a lot of baseball. He's good. He went 30-30 last year. I think he's got a claim to be up here in S tier. He was a 6 WAR player last year, 31 homers, 31 steals, 33 doubles, 806 OPS. So a little bit of a downturn from the alien numbers that Seager put up. But for all three of these guys, I think that's what we hone in on. I think Betts, a conversation needs to be had about the fact that he is not a natural shortstop, and we're going to see it for the first time. And there is a world where Mookie Betts breaks the game of baseball and is instantly a fantastic shortstop. I don't know how much I believe that yet, but if I see it, I don't think I'd be surprised. But we have to factor that in. Seager, I think there's a health concern. He's going to start the year on the IL again this year. He's going to miss opening day. Played 120 games last year. And then Lindor doesn't quite have the offensive prowess of Seager when he's healthy, but also brings the platinum glove defense to the table and, still does pretty all right, I'd say, in terms of offensive numbers. So I don't know who I would ever pick for number one of this trio, and that's what kind of makes me feel like they all are kind of on an even plane.
Jolly, I was debating how much I could yank your chain, and I do think there's another guy who could be brought in the mix, but we'll get there. Frankie Lindor, you mentioned, 30-30 last year. The OPS plus technically was a little better the year before, even though his OPS was down.
Right.
Because hitting was down across the league. He's a switch hitting, as good of a defensive shortstop as there is. He's played 160-plus games the past 2 years. Seager's health is a real thing.
Yeah.
Mookie, I genuinely don't know if he could play the position. But what those guys do with the bat is insanity. So, in a way, Lindor, is the S-tier shortstop, but he's also not.
Right.
Because, Mookie really shouldn't be on this board, but he is, and he's Mookie Betts, so he's at the top of the board. That's kind of how it works. Unless it was right field, would Ronnie? That's for another time.
Would have been fun.
Corey Seager, supposed to be my Yankees third baseman. Instead, he's winning World Series with the Texas Rangers and playing shortstop. So I think that's fun, and I guess chipping down the board. We haven't done a true chip down because normally I give up and just want to get some of the weird guys out of the way. The first guy, and I think BBD is going to be really happy with this. I think I found a two-man tier.
Oh.
I like that.
In the next tier.
Interesting.
And I think the tier is going to be called Trey Turner. And I think the two players in that tier are Trey Turner and Bobby Witt.
Okay. I had them at the top of A tier with company, but I want to hear you explain.
So, Trey Turner should have an argument for S tier.
Yes.
And I think he will after this season, and Philly fans are already a little mad. He hit 26 homers and 30 stolen bases last year, a 111 OPS plus. It was a tale of two kitties. His first half was not good. His second half was good. They stood and cheered for him, Jolly, as you remember.
Oh, I missed that.
He was also Captain America last year, and he went absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And there literally is something in baseball to being hot and being not. And I do think that was a part of last year. That I would not be surprised at all if Trey Turner is a 5-WAR guy this year, if not higher. How's his spring training stats? Fine, don't care. And I guess the other argument to come off of this is from where this is delicate, from where Trey Turner was with the Nats for a couple years there and his trade to the Dodgers initially. His full year in LA, 298, 343, and 809 OPS. 21 homers, 27 steals. His career numbers are a little better than the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's on the decline. He is over 30. Defensively, you'd love to have... I guess offensively, I do think I would prefer Trey Turner slightly than Lindor, but I do think Lindor has enough with the glove that makes it a difference. But I don't know.
No, I see what
I
you're
don't
saying.
love what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying, and I think there's a little bit of the first year of the contract itis
Sure.
with Trey Turner. The same thing that happened to Francisco Lindor his first year in New York. He wasn't the guy that he was, and then he turned it up and is now back to the level that I think a lot of people expect him to play at. For Turner, the guy that was in 2021 a 911 OPS, 145 OPS plus bat, led the league in steals and played good defense on top of it. That player is most certainly still in there. The problem is that this is a 2024 tier list, and like the most recent year, I think, in all of our opinions, probably counts the most. So I think that works against him a little bit. It also works in favor of Bobby Witt Jr., who's coming off 30-30 season, just signed his massive deal, is probably only going to get better. So I understand why you have them grouped together. It's just the three guys that I also had up there
Right.
all have a case too.
So you have 3 more bodies.
I had 3 more bodies in A tier.
Zeke Tovar.
He's going to be special.
He's Volpe.
Kelsey Wingert wouldn't lie to me.
Let me look at this.
Okay.
I have a soft spot for Dansby, so I'm bookmarking him.
Dansby was not one of those guys.
You're a young man enthusiast.
Can we cut that?
Gunnar Henderson
Yeah, he's up here.
is interesting because he just rookie of the year and
6
his
WAR season.
ceiling is uncapped. He was 6 WAR last year.
6 WAR. If we're
No.
doing B
At
WAR.
what?
At playing
No,
baseball.
his stats are kind of
That's
gross.
crazy.
You're
Trey
not,
Turner
really
was
good.
3.4.
you're not wrong, but that hurts my Bobby Witt's a young Trey Turner. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My heart's open to Gunner. I don't have much of a counter to that.
Or
I,
we can
I don't know
move
why you have
Trey
Nick
up.
Ahmed on the line.
Okay.
There's a Trey up discussion.
There is a Trey up discussion.
But I think then there's a Bobby Witt up discussion.
Resume
That's the
matters.
problem.
Resume matters to me. Trey's been doing it.
He has an extended.
Like a long resume of being one of, if not the best shortstop in ball. So
How many
there's,
30 homer, 49 stolen base seasons does he have?
I think zilch.
That's what Bobby Witt did last
bigger
year.
base.
I
got
thought you
to-
were a last year guy.
I got to stand on one of those new bigger
base.
bases.
They're
They're
big.
big. They are big bases.
They're on
pizza
top
box.
of it.
They're huge bases.
Little tuna can.
Oh my god.
Okay. You hate Dansby because you're Mets biased. You like Gunner. I like Gunner too.
Crazy.
So you have one more person up there.
You can find them. Or unless you want me to tell you.
Is it J.P. Crawford?
It's not.
Who is it?
It's Ha-Sung Kim.
Interesting.
Ha-Sung Kim was the Padres' best player last year
Yes.
on a team with Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts, and Fernando Tatis.
Almost a 6-4 season.
The bat hurts him a little bit. Sure.
The bat
Still hitting
feels capped, although he just hit 2 spring training Korea homers.
And he also almost got 40 stolen bases.
And
Like, shortstop's messy.
playing shortstop is different.
Yeah.
Again, I always laugh. I hate when I fucking say that. Because I don't.
You don't
You
laugh that
always
much.
laugh.
I always laugh
You like exhaling through the nose. Like
every
that.
day.
Yeah.
I always laugh. No, you young bloods don't really know. I spent 7 years in the business world. And everyone uses their own experience.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what we have. So, literally, whether it's a business meeting or, I don't know, you hear coaches and players talk about it. When this happened, I did this. Watching Gleyber Torres try to play shortstop as a baseball player, and then watching Gleyber Torres try to play second base as a baseball player, it affected his hitting significantly. And that's where I had a clip go out the other day that was like, I'm kind of rooting against Mookie Betts, and I was like, whoa, hey, Jake, put the mic away, bro. But I'm rooting for Mookie Betts. Always. He's awesome. Short king, one of the best to ever play baseball. Shortstop is supposed to be this sacred thing that you're not supposed to be able to just do it. You're not supposed to be able to do it past 30 for a lot of guys. So when I'm saying I'm rooting against Mookie Betts being good at shortstop, I still don't know what I'm saying. It hurts me a little bit because it's just not how it's supposed to work.
You don't want him to break conventional wisdom of baseball.
You'd have to rewire your brain.
Ha-Sung Kim had a fantastic season last year. He did it at second base.
That's true. No, it's worth factoring.
So Ha-Sung Kim, who had his breakout offensive season last year, which was a 110 OPS, which is a different number than a lot of the guys we're going to be talking about, to see him do at least that. Because, again, if he takes a step back, how far is Ha-Sung Kim going to be from a Jeremy Pena?
Whoa. That gets dicey.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
Just saying.
It's worth discussing.
So, as much as Ha-Sung Kim was some of the coolest shit ever last year, chanting that around the stadium, how he was the best, how this player was the best teammate amongst Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Cy Young winner Blake Snell. I'm Jiggly Grapes. I'm sorry.
An Oscar-worthy performance.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was talking.
I did text your known rival in life, Foolish Bailey, before.
I like Bailey.
And he called you Happy Grape.
You should have just stole that straight up.
That's where I audibled.
Where are you going with this, Jake?
I can't put Ha-Sung Kim up there until he
Okay.
does it at shortstop.
So,
I have that different.
we have a conversation to have then. Because
Gunnar is as good as those other players.
Gunnar and Bobby, for me, right now, are kind of equal. I think there's like a Bo Bichette discussion as well because he's been consistently good for a while.
There is a Bo Bichette conversation.
But I don't think he's like Lindor, Seager, Betts, even like Trey levels. If I'm being honest, he was better than Trey last year objectively.
He's an incredible hitter.
Consistent.
Really consistent offensively.
He's an incredible hitter. The glove is inconsistent. And it's frustrating because he has all the talent that a shortstop should have defensively.
I think I know where I land.
Okay.
I think I have Bobby, Gunnar, and Bo in A. And I think I bump up Trey to S.
I'm open to that. It feels like a flooded S tier.
A little bit, and that's my main concern. But like me and Jerry did top 10 NL East players on Shea Station last year. Trey was my number one.
Click. Right.
He was my number one player above Lindor in the division. Like not that long ago, I thought he was the better shortstop.
Depending the rest of my team's composition,
Yeah.
if I was doing a fantasy draft, Seager, Lindor, and Trey are coin flips for me.
Kinda. I think we circled back, but that's where I'm leaving it for now.
Why is Mookie Betts on this list?
It's kind of fucked up. It's like it's kind of harshing my vibe a little bit.
Sucks.
I'm a little against it. I was cool, like, yeah, second base. This is fun. Short is a little fucked up.
I like second base. You can do quirky stuff there. Shortstop's freaking me out, dude.
It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to do it.
So let's elevate Trey for now.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of this exercise is going into my yoga voice. So let's elevate Trey for now.
Let's keep it calm and zen.
And we'll go back to the Bobby Witt Gunner line.
I always laugh.
Those are two talented young AL players as we try to think of themes. Okay. Ha-Sung Kim, you made your argument. I shot it down. The power of 1,000 suns. Dansby Swanson.
Are they level?
Dansby Swanson has won back-to-back Gold Gloves at shortstop. Take your Second base, Gold Glove, Ha-Seong Kim.
Gold gloves.
His OPS plus did land at 99 last year, which is the second time in 3 years it's landed at 99. I do think there's a little, you talked about the first year of free agency.
Oh, yeah.
A little Wrigley, little Cubs action.
Wind blows in.
The numbers are still fine, especially for a Gold Glove shortstop. That I don't want Dansby to get left behind, but I think if you are talking about high-end potential, I think I would rather have Bobby Witt, Gunnar, and the S tier.
And if we want to play the game of let's see this in actual time, during the shortstop fiesta of signings, if I recall correctly, Dansby was the last to go.
He was, and I was on a little bit of a Dansby. Everyone needs to chill out about Dansby because they were mad about his arm talent. I think another Gold Glove proves that's okay.
Yeah.
Hitting-wise is interesting because I used to get on his career stats a little bit because he is weighed down by his first 2 full years in the majors where he had 600 OPS. But, recent years, you're looking at from 2020 on, you're looking at a 105 OPS plus, which is closer to Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah.
20 homer pace for 4 straight seasons.
You kind of know what you're going to get, which I like. I might put him and Ha-Seong Kim on the same line for now, below Bobby and Gunnar.
Now where you put Bo?
Can I say another name who I feel
Please.
like
Please.
has to belong in, just in general, no idea what to do? Carlos Correa.
Carlos is an odd one.
Yeah, he is an odd one.
Last year
Well, that's
is
kind
such
of
an
tough,
outlier.
huh?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And
What
I know the
happened?
metrics didn't like his defense
hurt?
anymore.
Well, yes. In a recent Athletic article that I read, there were quotes about Correa talking about how basically he didn't know how he was going to play every day because his foot was in so much pain. And eventually he'd just find his way onto the field. He's doing a lot of platelet shots and stuff like that. So
What does he have? The worst ankles in the world?
I think, and I don't think
What was
that's
that?
I don't think that's what the injury
Right.
that was hurting
yeah,
him last
that's not
year
what was happening last year.
It
That's
was
just a
more-
long-term concern. They hate his ankles.
It was more plantar fasciitis. So I think last year is not who Carlos Correa is, but do we think he's going to be healthy this year? That is the question that I think Twins fans are asking themselves, along with Buxton and Royce Lewis and those guys.
Here's what I can do for now. And that's me in my pawn shop voice. What is that?
Best I can do.
That meme gets me. I'd say once a month that meme gets me.
Best I can offer is B tier.
Pawn Stars, what a moment in society.
It was big.
My
God.
dad loved Pawn Stars.
That was a good, again, I outdate you guys a little bit, but that was like a bad afternoon college show for us. There's nothing on.
Nothing is
Pawn
on.
Stars. What's he going to get for that? Enough Pawn Stars chat ad. Go check that out if you haven't. Here's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to put Correa next to Dansby and Ha-Seong Kim,
I don't
which
hate
part of me loathes, but part of me understands.
Yeah.
Because Correa, that is currently an outlier, and he's younger than you think. Carlos
29
Correa
this
is
year.
29. That's insane. He's been in front of me for too long. Less. All those guys are Gold Glovers,
Yeah.
so there can be a spin there. That I'm going to look at them next to each other and see if I hate it.
Jake.
Oh, no.
I have one more Gold Glover that I think fits here perfectly.
Nick Ahmed.
Why is he? Who's he play for? Giants?
UConn.
Giants.
That's gross.
UConn.
J.P. Crawford, who I think might have been the best of these four last year. 131 OPS plus. Led the American League in walks.
Read that on base percentage.
380, was not familiar with that part of your game, and 19 homers, a career high. His first time going double digits. Last year was, I think, the breakout. He's got the 2020 Gold Glove, but it does make naming this tier and grouping these guys together pretty easy, in my opinion. These 4.
JP Crawford is really tough for me.
He's really good.
We may need another tier.
Below Jake.
I like JP Crawford.
I think we're disrespecting JP Crawford a little bit.
Wait. I'm saying above.
Oh, I thought you were saying below.
Dude, 131 OPS plus.
That's special.
That's real.
Led the AL in walks. Has gold in his bag. 5 WAR last year.
Even if you butter knife the last 3 years, it's a 111 OPS plus, which is better than Dansby.
So where are we at right now?
Currently, on the S tier, I have Mookie Betts. I have Mookie, Seager, Lindor, and Trey up
Have
top,
that.
Cool.
which feels a little wishy-washy.
It's a little bloated.
We'll see. I have a second tier that is Bobby Witt and Gunnar.
I have Bo there as well.
I don't have Bo currently placed.
I think he's better than the 4 guys we just grouped.
You think Bo's?
Yeah.
Okay. Bobby Witt and Gunnar. I mean, that is like MVPs in a can. That has been our like second tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a third line, I have Dansby, Hassan Kim, and Carlos Correa. JP Crawford is being discussed. I don't hate creating a new tier that is JP Crawford and Bo Bichette. Is that offensive?
I think it's a little offensive to Bo.
Okay.
I know the glove is a concern for Bo, and it's valid.
Sure.
Bo's last 3 years, which is, if you've been listening to the tier list, that's what I do. I do last 3 years. 124 OPS plus.
Sure.
73 homers, which is 24 on average a year. Doesn't get those stolen base numbers, doesn't quite play the same defense, but has consistently been Toronto's best hitter in the ebb and flow of Vladdy a little bit. And I think that, putting up an 8 in your OPS every year versus JP Crawford, who I just sung the praises of, his last 3 years, he's been about a little bit above league average. 110, I think, was the number. I don't know. I like Bo.
Life is about give and take. My mother, who I referenced earlier in the program, used to watch Judge Judy. It's where I learned all my legal jargon. You're not wrong. Bo Bichette's production from shortstop, like JP Crawford, as much as I love JP Crawford, he could hit 7 home runs next year, and that would not be surprising.
Right. There's also a little Mariners ballpark fiasco there,
It's 1 year from JP Crawford. He's 29. I hope he runs it and continues to runs it and gets super paid. Ooh, team-friendly extension. JP Crawford through 2026.
Okay.
11, 11, and 12
Nice.
Forgot about when
for
that
a
happened.
shortstop. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I hear your Bichette argument. I'm willing to put him on the second line like you discussed, although I think I'd much rather have Witt or Gunnar.
Because of age or just general athletics?
Bo Bichette has been extremely consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He hits a lot. The defense at shortstop gets to me.
Yeah.
Because he has all of the ability that it feels mental. That he, hitting-wise, should be discussed with, Trey. And, but he loses people with defense, which is crazy because I've seen him make sick plays. And the stolen base seems to be out of his game. He went from 25 and 21 to 5 last year.
I have an idea. Okay. S tier. Mookie, Seager, Lindor.
Sure.
A tier, Trey and Bo. And then below that, because they're young and they've only had one season, Witt and Gunnar.
No way.
It's only been one
Stop putting
season.
But that I can use that as these guys were super prospects.
Yes.
It's not like it's one season, let's see if the league adjusts. I think it's one season, where's this going to land?
Only up from here. Shit.
Like Bobby Witt. Did he get... Keep clicking his dad's baseball reference page. Bobby Witt Jr. at 23 finished 7th in the MVP last year.
Sheesh. This is tough.
Like,
dude.
I don't want to get... The Royals fans do not like being a rowdy bunch. But if you don't respect Bobby Witt...
Mild-mannered folk. 15 caught stealing, led MLB. You don't care about efficiency? You're just a compiler?
I don't.
That's all you care
Not
about?
in Kansas City.
That's crazy.
Like, Gunner... Okay. I'm going to leave all of that for now. I've got 4-3-3.
Okay.
Traditional soccer starting lineup at the Pee Wee level.
Okay.
I'll come back to it.
Where'd JP land for you? I have it 4-3-4. JP in the bunch.
That's probably unfortunately fair.
Yeah.
So I have 4-2-5. We get bumped Bo up.
Bo is now on the second tier.
I am
by
the way.
I am
4-3-4.
B tier's nice.
my sim.
It's a good B tier.
My sim
position.
character would currently have like a note on his head that's like frustrated Bo is with them. So we'll see if that gets changed.
I have a candidate for just a tier in the middle by himself.
That's a plot
Middle.
twist I didn't see coming.
I have I can't put Willie Adames with the 11 guys that are in front of him, but with some of the guys behind him, I think he's still better than. But I think he is the page turn to the next group of shortstops. Because he's kind of weird.
This is where I might bite back, Charlie.
We're clashing this episode.
I can't believe we haven't said Willie Adames' name.
Willie Adames' last year is the outlier.
Yeah.
You want to talk shortstop homers? I love Bo Bichette. That's what you were just doing.
I think it's you hate Bo Bichette.
I love Bo Bichette.
You're lying.
I have evidence. Willie Adames homers. 24 last year in a down year. 31 the year before that.
31's a lot of homers.
25 the year before that.
298 on base percentage in the 31 year.
He's 28 years old.
He is 28 years old. Is he on the same level as Dansby? Are those guys interchangeable to you? Because I don't think they are.
3 WAR last year, 18.4 career WAR. I hate you.
I'm sorry, but like if this is what we're doing, like he's not this defensively gifted shortstop like some of the other guys.
Willie can pick it.
Willie can pick it.
Willie can pick it.
I'm not, but when I think of Ha-Sung Kim, when I think of Dansby, even when I think of Correa, still, like those guys were all candidates for best glove at shortstop.
They were
in the
all
game at
world
some point.
defenders.
I don't hate moving Willie up, but I wanted to air out the discussion because we didn't talk about him, and I think there was a reason we didn't.
If we had done this tier list last year, Willie Adames' last 3 seasons, 251, 319, a 790 OPS, 117 OPS plus.
But what's the most important year? It's last year.
Tell that to Bobby and Gunner, Pop. That's what I've been saying.
I kind of like that we're barking at each other this episode.
I hate it.
Or they just agree the entire time?
Wish you were foolish. I didn't. Sorry.
Next week's tier
Sorry.
list.
That was rude. That was rude.
Just do another shortstop tier list.
Fixed.
I mean, how far
What do
off?
you wanna
How
do?
far off are Willie and Correa at this point?
No, that's a good point. Because last year is the most important year.
I mean, very similar offensive profile last year.
Are Willie and Correa on a tier together?
I can't believe we haven't gotten to the NL Central freak shows yet.
Yeah.
They might be their own.
All right.
I found like a low down tier that I'm interested in. But
I just hit.
Let's put Willie with B.
I think we have to put him there now.
Put him in B.
we'll circle back. B's
SA
crowded
hit
and
B
crowded.
is fat right now.
a
A lot of
little
talent
fat.
there. A lot of talent.
Little chunky.
A little chunky.
Old rapping name.
I do think there'll be more guys in a tier above and below, so I'd put them in what we currently have as a D tier for now. He might add tiers still. I think there's something to be said for young guys who he's now seen full years from, and we know they at least field, but they have more promise than a Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Young guys that we're pretty interested in.
And that would be Anthony Volpe, C.J. Abrams, Zeke Tovar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
interested in Zach Neto.
Neto.
Have I
showed me
seen
a little
enough?
something.
I'm interested.
He had some really good months for the
O'Neal
Angels.
Cruz. I'm curious if we think we've seen enough.
I think Cruz
I think
and
they
Ellie
might be better.
I think Cruz and Ellie need their own.
They need a
tier.
Cruz tier a little bit.
Caballero?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the sneak.
Young guys we're interested in.
Caballero for a rookie.
C.J. Abrams.
Got on base.
He fields and is at least hitting a little bit.
C.J. Abrams is interesting for me because he could possibly be a tier above. I'm going to put him on that line for now. But C.J. Abrams kind of started to click a little bit last year.
There's a little bit of some special running stuff that the other guys don't quite have yet.
Man, we are starting to get this weird veteran hot track. Hey,
and does Jeremy Pena need to be in that? Because he at least fields.
yeah, it's interesting because we assume more from Pena, but he didn't really have a good year.
He's kind of now had 2 years that are like you look at the numbers and it's like, oh,
his regular season stats are not that impressive, and that's fair.
I'm looking at.
I put him in that tier for now to thin us out a little bit. It's a malleable situation.
I like Zach Neto.
Yeah, I'm fine with Neto. He's showed me some stuff.
First 3 months, 770 OPS. Played good defense.
Is Perdomo on that line?
Oh,
His stats really faded at the end.
so
I kind of am not that interested, and that's so mean.
He's still very young.
He is young, but they have other shortstops. wanna see
he might have
more.
to be there. Oh, that stinks.
But I mean,
I feel bad about everything I'm saying because I
hey,
do like him.
again, for a 23-year-old shortstop, a 96 OPS plus, like, it's tough because there was a time when he was straight up killing it.
Yeah, like he deserved to be an all-star at the time.
Similar OPS plus to Pena. 95 from Pena.
And then wasn't he like nuts in the playoffs too?
And some of that is like split stuff. It's like they let him face some more lefties, and he got eaten up.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a platoon guy.
So it's like I think if they let him just face righties and
lefties, he wasn't good.
if you were to just platoon him, I think his numbers land in a good place.
736 against righties, 579 against lefties.
I thought it was better versus righties.
I'm going to add a row
Right, better versus righties.
towards...
I thought the stats would be better. I thought he'd be like in the 8s.
I'm going to put a row below this row of kids we currently have and just say straight up unknown rookies.
Oh.
Because I'm looking at Mason Wynn, who, hey, supposed to have all the arm strength in the world.
Sure.
No idea if you're going to hit at the MLB level. I just don't know. I believe this is Brian Rocchio with the Guardians.
Arias was currently penciled in. Same story.
I watched him pick it yesterday at the game.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Are you mad at me?
They're just unknown.
No, I know.
They're rookie shortstops. I have no clue.
Nick Ahmed.
He can pick it.
He can pick it.
He can pick it. Nick Allen. He can pick it.
Is
These
he
are bottom.
a young guy unknown?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the A's player that looks like a little leaguer.
I thought you put Geloff in here for a second. I was like,
Stop.
Sorry.
We don't do
a
that.
little bit.
Javi Baez is crazy. A Kenny Pickett. He still does. Like, I remember watching Tiger plays last year, and it's like, wait, he's still giving effort on defense? He just does this at the plate now?
Yeah.
Tim Anderson, Kenny Pickett?
DeYoung's
if he
Kenny
can pick
Pickett. The metrics still like DeYoung's glove. He's down there.
Cool.
Oh, yeah?
Mason.
DeYoung's picking it?
I think DeYoung still picks it.
For the White Sox.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a starter, right?
Jolly,
Gombe.
we're entering a fun area.
We did that nice and quick. That was good.
Yeah, we chewed
Pick
through
on,
that
man.
pretty quick. I am going to have to turn to you because you are an expert on this team. The Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Orlando Arcia last year was an all-star. Faded down the stretch. 98 OPS plus.
Yeah.
Year before that, in limited games, hit around league average. Kind of ironically, in 2020, hit closer to league average than you'd expect. The Braves' magic felt like it wore off.
Attaboy.
He can pick it. Where should he be?
So, I think we talked about putting the Cruz guys together, and there's a fun tier name in there, and I'm kind of trying to figure out whether or not Arcia lands above or below those guys. Right now, I have it as above because he's played for a while, and that matters to me. He was an all-star last year, and he still had 17 home runs and what considered to be a slowed down year towards the end.
What was his WAR last year?
His WAR was 1.6. Not. That's what's that humming?
I was interested where I'm going to land on this,
Yeah,
and I still am, but I don't know.
because I
don't know about that.
have company with him, and
Who would you pair him with? I'm interested in
it's
that.
kind of crazy that they're together, because this sentence, even 2 years ago, would have been absurd.
Right.
Are Trevor Story and Orlando Arcia on the same tier right now?
So we're juggling a few things here.
Like,
Because what the hell do you do with Tim Anderson?
I have him. He was
You kinda
bad.
have to,
He was
right?
bad
Can't
last
he
year.
pick it by
He was
himself?
bad last year.
I think you just put Canny Pickett
Fully
and you
lost
run away
it.
from it. And I
Fully lost it.
hope it's just wrong.
A 582 OPS in 120 games. One home run.
Played.
Well,
You add the half year before that too.
what'd Trevor Story do offensively
Bad
last
-2 WAR last year.
year? Trevor
Anderson.
Story do offensively last year?
Oh, okay.
Just curious.
He wasn't good, Jake. Was he hurt?
Yes.
Maybe.
Was Tim Anderson?
I don't think. Was Tim Anderson hurt?
Got punched.
He did get punched. He played the next day, I'm pretty sure.
Sold.
He sold a little bit.
R.I.P. Canobio. I have a little bit of Trevor Story stock for this year, and I have no Tim Anderson stock.
I have no Tim Anderson stock. I like the fit. I think everybody kind of liked it. They were like, when is Tim Anderson signing with the Marlins? And then it happened.
Yeah, it was surprising that it was guaranteed MLB deal for $5 million.
That shocked me.
Great agent work.
I think so. Better than Boris, maybe. So now it becomes a matter of
Got Jung Julia's money.
Arcia and Story above or below the Cruz guys.
Hmm.
And that kind of completes the bottom half for me. Or everything below B.
Okay. So, where do you think Ellie De La Cruz and O'Neal Cruz go?
Like, I think they're going to go off this year. I
Right.
really do think they're going
Why
to be
not?
great. And I don't think that Arcia and Story are going to be great this year. I think they can be good. And I think they have the resumes that warrant them being higher. But this is a 2024 tier list. And I think if you asked either of those teams, hey, would you rather have this guy or one of the Cruz guys? They would probably say the 6'6" Dominican infielder. So I think I'm putting the Cruz brothers, above them.
What a secret that would
Proverbial
be.
brothers.
Imagine.
Because would we pick those two guys above the young and I want to see more?
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm way more interested in them than any of those guys. No offense, Volpe. Sorry.
No, I think it's fair. I think it's
Okay.
this is where the question really kicks in. Who would you rather have for this season? Obviously, there's some crazy injury stuff that it seemed kind of fluky with O'Neal Cruz that you just hope that's out the window this year. Ellie got punched in the face by baseball, but I kind of love that.
He needed it.
I just wanted Matt McClain to get the love he deserved last year.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's 5'8". Everyone is all in on those guys this year. I have no problem also being all in on them. Man, Story.
They feel gross together. It feels wrong. But it's just been so long since we've seen Story be Story.
If I could, then I would. Can you put Arcia with all the kids?
Oh. Is he young? Are you excited about Orlando Arcia?
I don't think I am.
He's 29. But you can't put him in Kenny Pickett. You can't. Because he was good.
He had a
last
good year.
He was a piece of the team.
Like the Braves identified that, like, oh, he was missing something.
He got
his
a
prior
contract.
stops.
Like it was a small contract, but still, they paid him to be the shortstop.
They had young kids they were choosing between.
And they traded
picked
Von
him
Grissom,
over
so
him.
it's not like there's anyone breathing down his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
boy.
Braves believe in him, which is always scary. The unknown rookies,
I think they just land together.
they're just together.
I think they're just
I
together.
think they kind of are just together.
These guys shouldn't be together, but they are.
It does. It feels like they either need a third. It feels weird that they're hanging out one-on-one, but I don't know who that is.
Is the third Jeremy Pena?
No.
He's, oh, God. I mean, he's been in the league longer than everybody else in his tier. And he won World Series MVP, which matters.
So you hate this, but I thought Tim Anderson was a decent fit on there.
Oh, boy. I would have to move them below young guys we're interested in.
I know this is impossible, but if you erase Tim Anderson's last season,
I'm listening.
it all looks delightful.
We like Tim Anderson.
Can one bad year happen in baseball?
He was so good in 2021. He hit 309.
I think his first half of 22 is okay.
He had
him and
hurt.
Luis
Arcia
Ariz
doesn't feel like a third for
Okay.
him in Story. But
Okay.
But Tim Anderson's story is in like a bounce back guys
So
tier.
are we
I'm
saying
interested in?
Are we saying that they are below young guys we're interested in? Because then I'm okay with it.
I think so.
Because it feels a little unfair to Arcia, who basically just had his best year. Played the full season, career high in homers, got the contract. But I think I'd still prefer the young
The other
guy
guys
mystery
have-
boxes.
The other guys have much better full resumes, TA and Story.
Yeah. So what do we call it? You've got the resume or something?
I don't know.
I think I understand the grouping a little bit. I understand it.
I realize in a month Tim Anderson could be completely off this board, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's like an O for April away from like never playing in the big leagues.
Trevor Story needs to do something. At
least he's like locked in, and if he's picking,
Yeah, I can figure that out.
Oh, you know what would have been perfect?
Okay.
Story and Anderson together, and it's 2021 top 10 shortstop. Arcia ruins
Just
that.
still what do we?
Fluffs himself. I'm fairly good with this. The top of the
Yeah.
list still gives me.
Heebie-jeebies.
So we did move. Did we move them below the young guys?
I have them below.
I have them below the
and
young
then
guys.
above the young guys, I have exciting 6'6" Dominican infielder from the NL Central, and it's the Cruz guys.
I labeled that Cruz.
Sure.
Cruising.
Cruising.
That's a layup. Man. Mookie, Seager, Lindor, and Trey.
We're back here. We've got time to kill.
Am I good with that?
We've got time. And B is kind of fat.
How far is Trey from Dansby? Far.
I know you're out on Bo and A, but like A tier looks fine to me.
I have him in A. It just...
You're upset.
Sometimes I forget how young Bo is, and I get frustrated with his defense a little bit.
It's really good.
Where I guess this is what I'll say. I think I know what Bo Bichette is. Gunnar and Bobby might be in different worlds.
But we don't know that yet.
But we don't know. So I understand that. And sometimes the grass isn't always greener. So I get that. Very philosophical.
Sometimes it's turf.
Are we like weirded out that like we have 4 guys in S tier and like all of them, like none of them we're looking at and are like that's the perfect shortstop. Like baseball just kind of doesn't have that right now.
Here's what I'll say.
And I wouldn't have had that coming into this exercise.
You'll never be Jeter tier. You don't like that?
Corey Seager might be better. If I were to move one up and put him on his own plane, I think it would be Corey Seager. But I don't know that I want to do that. I think I could. And then maybe you'd feel a little bit better about those three guys together. But are we crowning Corey Seager number one in baseball?
Anointing Corey Seager.
Because I don't think we've done a alone at the top kind of thing, a lot of these tier lists.
I think it was Mookie Betts at second, which
And now that doesn't count, so.
is just illegal and
Cool.
wrong.
Great. Thanks, Mookie.
Everything aside, contract. Is that
Contract.
everything? I guess I was gonna say injury, but that's not fair.
If we're not factoring injury, then I think it is Seager.
It would be
but
I think it
Seager
would be
easily.
Seager if we don't care about injury.
I
Because he has
factor injury,
played
though.
one
Shortstop-
season that I'd call a full season.
Shortstop's gotta play.
2017.
I'm not elevating him.
Shortstop's got to play.
Corey Seager's 2022. He had a 117 OPS.
Yeah.
First year with the team.
First year with the
150
team.
games.
Yeah.
Um,
That really is a thing, huh?
and then
And that's the one like full year he's given.
and then there's a lot of injury or
Pandemic, he
not-
played basically the full year.
or
but short
or the
year.
performance is much more in line with the other guys. So no, I don't think he deserves to be elevated to it.
Then I think this is your S tier.
Okay.
I think this is what it is.
God damn you, Mookie.
Mookie kind of makes it bloated.
God damn you, Mookie.
I'm not mad. I don't think we've had a fat S tier, have we?
So I've got. It just feels like the S tier has everything. Like you've got the lefty hitter shortstop,
Mm,
2-time World Series MVP.
by the way.
You got Lindor, switch hitting, speed and power, and defense. Oh my. Trey Turner, the righty, speed, power, defense is fine. And then Mookie Betts is just
They're all,
goated.
are they all $300 million men? I think they all are, right?
I think they all have $300 million.
I think all those men have $300 million.
I think that's
for a reason. $300 million men.
$300 million well spent.
Pretty much.
That's what I have it as. Because I like all those contracts.
What's Bobby Witt's contract?
Close.
288.
Woo!
Woo! Not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, broke boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to throw your card in, huh?
So what do you do with A and B? I feel like we're making another tier here.
Willie Adames really does hurt the Gold Glove thing, huh? And you hate Willie Adames.
I like Willie Adames. Saved him from the trop.
What about something along the lines of this sounds really dumb
I'm listening.
because next year's season affects every player a lot. But like if Dansby goes back to being a 115 OPS plus with another Gold Glove, he goes up. If Ha-Seong Kim does what he did last year at shortstop,
He goes up.
he goes up. If Correa and Willie return to form, they go up. And J.P. Crawford just has the 1 year, really.
But if he does it again,
That this is like the... it's like the escalator tier or the... I don't know.
like climbing the ladder.
Broken elevator. Will it get fixed?
Still don't know what to say about Correa.
I mean, Correa's a good year away from being
Like
Just
bad,
that year was
elite.
bad.
Correa's a bad year away from being like, holy shit.
yeah, but I think that like the Twins are expecting him to be like one of their
Good
3 best
again.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
they love Eddie and Royce.
I love Royce.
Buck Daddy. Him and Correa. I don't know what you do with either of those guys. Kind of crazy. They're on the same rooster.
Yeah.
What was that? Okay,
These 8 guys are hurting my brain.
a little bit. What do we call the Volpe, Tovar, Nito, Caballero, Abrams, Pena, Perdomo tier? Young, dumb, and broke. Shout out to, who's that? Khalid?
Khalid.
Yeah.
Is Pena broke? Did he get paid?
No. Young,
Didn't Abrams get a contract?
broke. Yes, young, dumb, price.
We had that
was
as young
good.
guys we're interested in, right?
I had like young, and I want to see more. Jeremy Pena has not gotten paid.
Abrams still 47 bases last
None
year.
of these guys are
They've
paid.
not
Nah, they're
gotten
not paid.
Yeah, Abrams. I think Abrams is the 1-1 on this line currently.
Yeah.
But
I
I don't
just
think he
moved
deserves to be
up.
anywhere else.
Could be. One day.
I'll put him at the front of the line there.
I can't even look at Story, RC, and Anderson.
I have that as you've got the resume, but I'm open to change it.
I might label it like, don't look at this line.
That's fine.
I like
Don't look at this line. This line, please.
This hurt us more than it hurt you.
Put a please on there. That would make me feel better.
Don't look at this line, please. Unknown rookies below them, and then Kenny Pickett.
Maybe above don't look at this line is just hope.
Yeah.
You don't have to be too crazy sometimes. Just hope.
Can we do hope with a period? Make it dramatic.
That is dramatic.
Cruising, hope.
Cruising.
Don't look at this line.
Hope.
please.
What did we do? Gold.
I just feel.
Where's gold?
Does Bobby Witt and Gunnar need to be their own tier?
Don't, Jolly, don't. Don't. No. No. Bad, Jolly.
Bobby Witt and Gunner going all the way back.
I've been saying that.
I know.
You
'Cause,
just
like-
convinced me. I just became fine with it.
Don't you think the Blue Jays would want either of those guys over Bo?
Easily.
You'd pick those 2 guys over Bo.
Wouldn't you?
Here's what convinced me. And it
Shit.
kind of goes with the top line. Bo Bichette, I know what I'm. Oh, those other guys
I
are
think
better.
I think
Guys are better.
They're just better.
it's a Bo coming down and like elevating a couple guys from B and what
To be with Bo.
to be with Bo. And it's
You wanna
like
make another
and
category.
it's something about reliability. Like I'm banking on it, and that would leave like your probably Hassan Kim, J.P. Crawford, and Adames behind as like one more year, and I believe.
If you're offering me a Bo and Dansby line, I think I would take it.
People are
I
gonna be
think I
so
am
mad.
offering that.
People are going to be so mad at that.
Why is that?
Because Bo mashes.
But Dansby fields and hits enough.
Let's do it. I think that's where I think they need to be on their own tier. Because they are just like, they're special young players. And Bo is,
Bo gets swept in that category with Gunnar and Bobby.
yeah. So it's Bo, Dansby, or is Correa staying below?
I think Correa stays below.
Boy,
You
oh
hate
boy.
that.
No, I'm just conflicted. It's weird that the top of this I thought was easier than like the mid top. Like the guys after the top 5 or whatever.
Who would you rather have next year, Correa or Hassan Kim? Right?
Hassan Kim, I think.
But that could be wrong,
That's
and
an
you know
insane,
that.
That's an insane sentence.
You know that.
I could be wrong. Totally could be wrong.
Who would you rather have next year, Hassan Kim or Dansby Swanson?
Hassan Kim.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Dansby.
So you'd rather have Dansby over Ha-Seong Kim, but Ha-Seong Kim over Correa?
Ha-Seong Kim Correa is some sick.
It's
That's
fucked up.
devil magic.
It's fucked up.
That's not a question people were supposed to answer in this lifetime.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Dansby and Bichette, wood and leather.
Wood and leather. Love it.
That's how they get by. I think that second tier is just future MVPs. I think we've done that a couple times.
Future MVP winners, I'm down. Then that leftover B tier. Is that the gold club?
I had that where's gold because Kim, Correa, and
Adames.
JP have gold, and the Brewers actually wear gold.
Also, like,
I'm fine with that.
I undersold Adames a little bit before. He was like 99th percentile outs above average last year.
Willie's
He's
nice.
had good defense years.
Willie's nice.
That's usually the one that I look at the most, just because like
and
it
if you
makes
don't
the
think
most
Willie
sense.
Thomas wears gold,
It makes the most sense in my brain. He's a 3-war player for the down year. Okay,
so
where's gold?
wrapping up for the people.
Wow.
$300 million men. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Frankie Lindor, and Trey Turner, Captain America. Your future MVPs, Bobby Witt, Gunnar Henderson. Wood and leather, Bo Bichette and Dansby Swanson. Where's gold? Ha-Seong Kim, Carlos Correa, J.P. Crawford, and Willie Adames. Cruising, Ellie, and O'Neill. Man, Captain and Tennille. Hope, period. Anthony Volpe, Ezequiel Tovar, Zach Nito, Jose Caballero. How'd you get on that line, you sick puppy?
I got to get him to the back
You
of that line.
sick puppy. CJ Abrams, Jeremy Pena, and Geraldo Perdomo. Don't look at this line, please. Trevor Story, Orlando Arcia, and Tim Anderson.
Don't even read it.
Unknown rookies, Mason Wynn, and whoever you have playing for your Cleveland Guardians, Arias and Rocchio. And Kenny Pickett, yes he can. Nick Ahmed, Nick Allen, Javi Baez, and my God, is that Paul DeYoung?
In the year of our Lord, 2024.
Crazy. Comment below, I know you will, what you liked, what you hated. Ladies and gentlemen, a thank you to Jolly Olive, per
Happy
usual. Subscribe to his channels, Twitter, Insta.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hit 7K.
Oh,
Seen a check mark.
oops. Thank you to King Beebs. Thank you, everyone. Oh, my God. Baseball's here. Bye.